Welcome back to Big Nick's Meats and Treats. Today we're going to do something special. I'm going to cure and smoke my own bacon. All right, I was talking to a buddy of mine recently and he was talking about how much bacon he makes and how everybody loves it. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to make some bacon. So I went out and I bought myself a 10.8 pound pork belly at my local restaurant supply place. And we're going to get this thing cured up and ready to smoke. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, I got the pork belly out of the package. I'm gonna square up this one end here because it's just a little bit little. I want a square edge on that, and I am going to hang on to this and use this for the next time I make sausage. Okay, and then I think I'm gonna cut this in about half here because we're gonna have to weigh this out, and we're gonna have to weigh it in grams, and that weight is going to determine how much salt we use, how much brown sugar we use. So you're going to need yourself a good food scale here. I put some saran wrap on there, and you want to make sure you're in grams, not ounces. And we're going to weigh this half. I am at 2.29 kilograms. Okay, so I'm going to do some quick math here real quick, and I will show that to you on the screen so you know the math. We're going to need 2% of that weight in salt and 2% of that weight in brown sugar. So I'll calculate that out and we'll get that mix going. See you in a minute. Okay, the first half of my pork belly weighed 2.283 kilograms or 2,283 kilograms. So if you multiply that times 2%, it gives you 45.66 grams. And that's the amount of kosher salt and brown sugar I'm going to use, equal parts. So I'm going to do 45.66 grams of kosher salt. And you need a good food scale here. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing in brown sugar. So that should give me 91.2 total. A little bit too much. There we go. Okay, now the last thing I need to do is weigh out my cure. So on the cure, you're going to do 0.25% of cure. I'm using Instacure #1, which is the same stuff that I use for my sausage. You don't have to use cure if you don't want to. It gives the meat a good color, and it dramatically reduces the risk of botulism or foodborne illnesses. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. And at 0.25%, that's going to give me 5.7 grams of cure, which is not very much. So that's already 6, so it doesn't take very much. On the bottle here, it says 1 teaspoon for 5 pounds of meat. So I'm going to take that, mix that with the brown sugar. We're going to get that mixed up, and then I'll show you how to rub it onto the pork belly. We'll see you in a few. I bought some 2-gallon size Ziploc bags that I'm going to use for this. I'm going to go ahead and take that first half of the pork belly, put it inside this bag, and this is where it's going to cure for the next week. So now I'm going to take my remaining dry hand here and start putting the salt and sugar and the cure on the bacon. You want to make sure you get it all covered real good. Okay, and then I think I'll flip it over like that and do the other half. Put that on there. And now I'm gonna get the air out of this and seal it. And it's gonna go in the refrigerator for at least a week. So I'm gonna put it in there for a week and let it cure. And then I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other half of the pork belly, leave that in there for a week, and then we'll get to smoking it after that. So I'll see you in a week. It's been about 24 hours since the bacon's been in the refrigerator, and you can really start to see a lot of liquid building up in the bags, which means that cure and the salt is working. One of the things you wanna do when you have it in the fridge is you wanna flip it over every 24 hours. So once a day for the next week, I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over, and you can start to see it's getting some color and stuff. That's really good, I like that. So just make sure once a day that you flip it over. So I'll see you next Friday. Welcome back. It's been a week that we've had our bacon curing in the refrigerator. I've been flipping it every day. So now we're gonna go ahead and take this stuff out of the bag, and I'm gonna wash the cure off. Get it out of the bag there. I want to rinse that cure off real good. And then I'm going to put it on this grilling pan. Do the same thing on the other one. Just want to make sure you get all that cure off. All right, now I'm going to dab this dry. And I'll probably let it sit here and air dry on the rack for a little bit while my smoker's getting hot. I'm going to run the smoker at 200 degrees. I'm running hickory. And I'm going to go for an internal temperature of 145 degrees. Man, I am so excited for this. Homemade bacon, baby. Who doesn't love homemade bacon? I don't know if this rack is going to be big enough. I might have to do 2 racks. All right, I'm going to get this all dried off. And when we get it out on the smoker, I'll take you with me. We'll see you in a bit. Super windy day here, you can probably tell. Getting ready to put the first slab of bacon on. I'm only going to do one at a time just because of size. I have the smoker running at 200. Like I said before, I'm doing hickory. And I'm going to put my meat thermometer in here, and I'm going to run till the internal temperature is 145. So we'll run that in there. We'll see you in a little bit. Welcome back. It took a little over 3 hours to get to the internal temperature of 145 degrees. I kept the smoker at 200 the whole time, and the color on this thing is fantastic. It's all I can do to want to eat 5 pounds of bacon right now. So the next thing I need to do is I'm going to put it in the refrigerator, let it sit there all night, get nice and cool, and tomorrow I'm making bacon. I'll see you then. Good morning, everyone. We're back. I had the bacon in the refrigerator all night last night getting cool, and today we're gonna eat it. So I got my brisket knife that I use. I'm gonna try and get some nice thin slices on the bacon. The master and commander doesn't like it when they're too thick. Ooh, man, that looks good. And I'm gonna cook this in the oven at 425 degrees, probably for 22 to 25 minutes. Man, that looks fantastic. It sure smells good in there too. I may never buy store-bought bacon ever again. All right, I'm gonna finish getting this sliced up, and we'll get her in the oven. And we'll see you in about 22 to 25 minutes. See you then. After 8 days of curing and smoking, I'm finally ready to eat this bacon. I cooked it at 425 degrees for about 23.5 minutes, and it looks fantastic. Super, super excited. Came out real, real nice. It's just a perfect balance between crispy and chewy. That is naughty. It's so good. So good. I'm not a huge bacon fan normally. but this is really, really good. I'll probably never buy bacon in the store again. What I did with the remainder is I cut it in 1 pound increments, and I'm just gonna seal and mill it. And I just put the second half of the pork belly on the smoker, so I'm gonna be smoking that. So I'll probably end up with about 9 pounds of bacon out of that pork belly after shrinkage. It's fantastic. I hope you try this at home. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe. And until I see you next time, watch me work, baby. Watch me work.